We're working on things here through the keyboard, so if you notice things just jump up like the Object Info palette or Resource Manager or even the Attributes palette, that's because I use keyboard a lot. You should learn keyboard shortcuts. It helps make for an efficient workflow. Here, the Attributes palette, I love to have it right in the front so I can pick something and then make it go away. Same with the Object Info palette. Keep in mind that a palette is something that has information, and a dialog box, you have to close it. So here's the organization dialog box. I'm working on a single design layer. There's no stories, sheet layers, viewports, save views, or resources. The classes are the minimal classes that VectorWorks provides and requires. The design layer is set to 1 to 1. I'm going to say OK from the keyboard, and off we go. So we're going to show how to put a texture across a couple extrudes and keep it so it looks uniform going across them. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to look at the Resource Manager. We have an image and we have a texture. If I take this image and drop it onto this rectangle, we see that there's nothing to view. That's kind of interesting. Let's open the attributes, and you can see the images there, but we have to click and say what's the length, and we're going to say that the length is, let's say, 2 inches, and that the offset is 1 inch. So now let's see what we get. Not a lot of anything. One of the keys is the size of the image, but you don't edit an image. The only way you can really edit an image is with the image effects. One of the great things that VectorWorks has added. If you need to, you can make this window bigger. Do it before you edit the image and click reset, and notice that the picture gets bigger. You can change the exposure here, the contrast, and we want to make the color a little bit less and a little bit better shadow. So we're going to say apply, and it's one of the best things that VectorWorks has added recently. So I'm going to close the Resource Manager. For some reason that helped our situation. What we want to do is we want to see just one of these images. So we are going to go in here and turn off the repeat, and we're going to look at it. I can't see anything, so here's the first thing I've learned to do is to simply pull up on the handle, and I'm going to move this so it's bigger than the image. So let's get close. Now I'm going to zoom in, hit the C key. Now some people like the Z key. I could use the Z key here. I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to come close to where I want to hit the Z key again, and I'm going to set it down. And now I'm going to use the C key and see how well I did. It looks good. So I zoom to the page, or I could zoom to the extents. Now if you have nothing selected, keep in mind that it picks whatever's out here and zooms to it. So nothing selected, Command 6 from the keyboard. So here we are in the corner again. We're going to hit the Z key, grab this, we're going to move in close, we're going to hit the Z key again. We're going to click, but I'm going to use the C, and we're going to go in here close, and looks good. I'm always leery with the Z key. When it was originally introduced, it was very problematic, so I did not adopt it in my workflow. What I prefer is the C key. C is in cat, so I can hit the C and zoom in. I can always hit Command 6 to zoom back out again. So now I have this rectangle. You can see it's a rectangle. You can see it is screen plane. The way I set my preferences is based on what I'm drawing. And the legacy, I turn them on and use screen plane. Screen plane is predictable. Screen plane is consistent. Screen plane is easy. Screen plane will stay in front of you on the screen when you change your 3D views. So I always turn this on, and I always turn Unified View off. You can see some videos we posted about problems that Unified View has caused. I'm sure there's people who use it, but you can tell that because we're only working on one design layer, it does not seem to be the kind of thing that we need. We're going to put a few dimensions. So 2 inches by 2 inches. Now, you notice down here the precision is 1/8 of an inch, but we want it to be a little more sophisticated than that. And I think I would prefer a metric dimension. I'm going to go in here and change this to millimeters. This looks like it might do, and the whole premise of this is to have a reference. So I'm going to take this and put it up out of the way, and we see it's 50 by 50. So now, to get a texture across several extrudes, what we're going to do is draw a line. We're going to draw it in the top plan view, and we're going to go to 50 millimeters. Now we're going to say duplicate that and move it 55 millimeters. And then we're going to do this again. Again, we're in the top plan view. We're going to take all 3 of these at the same time. I'm going to grab the middle of the middle one and drop it at the center of the page. Now if I pick just the middle one and look at the object info palette, it says 0, 0, so we're doing good. So now I'm going to say extrude in the top plan view and say 50 millimeters and go to a front view. I'm going to go back to the resource manager and I'm going to drop the smile texture onto here. If I look at this, I want to see what this is set for. I'm going to say edit, and it's set for 54 millimeters. What I want to do is I'm going to say set it for 55. Close the resource manager, and I'm going to do a OpenGL rendering. So the extrude has it sideways, so we're going to come in here and I'm going to guess minus 90, and there I see the kitten across 3 of these. So it looks pretty good. Except I just want to see it across the 3 a single image, so I'm going to go to the plane. I am going to say that the scale is 3 times. This looks good. I'm going to go down here to the offset horizontal and vertical, change it to 0 and 0, and I should really get this to be right in the corner, but I don't. I'm not sure why. So we can just try to say like minus 25 and minus 25, and we are too far down. Let's leave it at 0. So now we have the smile texture. It is across 3 extrudes. The way we made the extrudes is by picking 3 lines and extruding them at once. So I'm going to move this down just arbitrarily. I'm going to say duplicate. So now I have 3 more, except the texture looks just the same. What I want is like the next bit. So you'll notice that even though I can move this extrude in the Z direction, if we go here and see the bottom Z is minus 4 and here the bottom Z is minus 59, the texture does not move. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say another minus 55. We're doing it in the wrong direction. Now we're going to say another minus 55. The picture is looking good. So now I'm going to say dupe and move and go in 55 again. Again, we see that the texture simply replicated itself, even though this object has a bottom Z that's different than this one. So we're going to go back to this one, go to the rendering, and we're going to subtract another 55 from it. And so now when we look at this, we basically have this image as a texture mapped across these 3 extrudes. Now, this looks like 3 separate extrudes, but it's actually 1 extrude. So is this, and so is this. If we take this and we spin it, we can see that this is 3-dimensional. Put something behind it. We're going to take this and extrude this. If we give it a color, it becomes obvious that our 9 panels, our grid of 9 squares is separated by this gap we put in. You have an extrude, 1 extrude, 2 extrude, 3 extrudes. The extrudes are created with 3 lines. You can double click this and see that there's 3 lines. From that standpoint, we applied a texture, adjusted the texture. We used the mapping type plane, each time we moved the extrude to get the next set of 3, we needed to move the texture also. Hope this helps with your workflow. There's many ways to draw in VectorWorks. That's how I drew it. Thanks for watching.